Hello and welcome to a brand new vlog. I am Lucas and I am in Ireland because I moved here. Well, not yet moved. We still have to actually get the house and move all of our furniture in. Right now, I'm in a temporary apartment where we are just basically staying for the next month or so until the house is ready to move into. So I haven't been vlogging because I'm moving, so I have to stay in various hotels and friends' apartments, meaning that there is sometimes, more often than not, very bad internet, plus there is a privacy factor which I have to consider, since there's a lot of people around, plus we also have to sleep in the same room. I can't actually vlog. I like doing this in private, not just because it's quiet, but because I don't really feel like talking in front of someone else. So I couldn't vlog for the past 2 weeks or so, but now that I'm in Ireland, there is good internet, plus there is a lot of privacy since my dad's working and my mom's still in China doing family business. So I'm all alone in this apartment and I'm free to do some vlogging. Actually, I just came back from China yesterday, and because my mom has to stay in China and my dad has to be here to work, that basically meant I had to move from China to Ireland all alone. So this is the first time ever that I flew on a plane all alone. And let me tell you, it was one heck of a ride. Okay, so the first story I've got to tell you is something that happened before I even entered the terminal. So we were in front of the gate in front of the terminal, so before the security check thing. So we were there, and I was saying goodbye to my friends because they took care of me. My mom was in a different city altogether, so she couldn't say goodbye to me, but she probably would have if she was there. So we were just saying goodbyes, chatting a little bit, and I was just about to enter the queue to enter the security check area when a group of 25 men, all wearing red capes, just strolled in and stood in front of me in the queue. 25 men, and I mean, it doesn't take a long time to enter the area, but before there was only like 3 people, and I probably only had to wait for like 3 people to enter. Now I had to wait for 25 men to just stroll right in front of me and go through the security check area. And I had to wait a really long time for all of them to pass. And it wasn't the last time I saw them. They actually entered the same gate as I did, and I ended up just staring at them, just wondering why were they all wearing red capes. Because I'm pretty sure that they were a tour group, but it looked extremely weird. They were all just standing around wearing red capes. The only thing I could think of was the red capes. I couldn't even think of the plane itself. I know I'm supposed to basically concentrate on traveling because it's the first time I've done it, so I have to make sure I don't make mistakes. But the only thing that crossed my mind right now was, what the heck are those red-caped men doing? Right, so rewind a little bit. I went through security check, and right before we enter immigration check, which is a place where you have to sign forms in order to make sure that you can actually leave the country, I accidentally dropped all of my documents onto the floor. So my boarding pass, my baggage tags, my immigration form, all of this kind of stuff. I just dropped, it just fell out of my passport and dropped all over the floor. I'm thinking, oh my god, how did I do this? I just dropped everything on the floor. And I was literally just the next person to enter immigration check. I was like panicking, like everything was on the floor, and I was double checking to make sure I didn't lose anything. And at that moment I thought, oh god, I am definitely not made for traveling, because I can't travel if I keep dropping stuff. Either way, after I crossed the gate, and then I texted my parents and plus my friend's mother, who was probably even more worried than my parents. I went down to the gate, and then I just saw something really strange happening, apart from the red-capped mans. It seems like so many people, like at least 10% of the plane, for some reason decided to take a picture of the information board, the thing that they put above each gate to tell you the time of boarding, where this plane goes, and the status of the flight. And for some reason, like, I'm pretty sure at least 10% of the plane was actually taking a picture of the board. I was just staring at them. It was not just like Chinese people. It was a mixture of people, like Chinese, foreigners. They were just taking pictures of the board. I took a picture of the board because I was going to ask my parents why were people taking a picture of the board. But people were just taking a picture of an information board. And all I saw on the board was Istanbul, now boarding, and then the time was 11. I'm still puzzled. Why? There's nothing wrong with that. Just people just started taking. I'm pretty sure not everyone that took a picture of the board understood Chinese, so couldn't have been something that they wrote in Chinese that was funny. I don't know. Is Istanbul really such a big deal that so many people have to take a picture of it just to prove to their friends that they have been to the mighty land of Istanbul in Turkey? Either way, roll it a few minutes later, I enter the plane and I sit in a chair in business class because you might call me a rich brat or whatever you call people who go into business class. But I went there and I sat in my seat, and for some reason, even though pretty much half of the business class was empty, actually more than half of business class was empty, and there was an entire row which no one sat in, I was still placed beside another woman. I was wondering why, and I was wondering if I could move, but probably not. And I just sat beside that woman, and only 5 minutes later did I realize that she could only speak French. Now I can speak French and I can speak English, but she could only speak French. So she literally asked me every 5 minutes what did the menu say, because she had to order things to eat, and she couldn't understand the menu, and I had to try and translate. And even though I can speak French, my French is still not good. Also, I had to help her with the entertainment system, and she also had a big friggin' pillow made yellow, blue, different colors. She was not a bad person, but she was French, and I'm still wondering what does a French lady want to do in Istanbul. I guess she was just transit, because I actually later met her in transit, but otherwise she was just a French lady in China. That's actually even weirder. Why would she go to China in the first place? Unless she's on a trip around the world, which then makes kind of sense. Alright, and now let's just move on to random facts about Lucas, especially when he's flying. Fact number 1, he's completely paranoid with people stealing stuff on the plane. So basically, every 5 minutes I had to look towards my luggage compartment to make sure no one was actually sneaking their arm into it and taking stuff out of it. Because I'm really worried. I always think that someone could just walk in and take stuff out of the luggage compartment, and no one would notice because everyone's either sleeping or watching a movie or serving other people. Anyone could just take stuff out of a luggage and no one would notice. And then maybe after the plane lands and we're already halfway home on the taxi, you just open your bag and realize that half your stuff is missing. That's always something which worried me, so I had to actually look through my bag 3 times just to make sure everything was inside before I even left the plane, and that meant I always left kind of lost because I was always double checking to make sure I had everything. Second fact, I try not to fall asleep because not only am I paranoid about my luggage missing, I'm actually paranoid about us falling through the abyss and crashing into the ground, which is not a very nice thought to have, but it's the thought that I always think about. Because I am scared of airplane crashes, but I'm even more scared of having an airplane crash while I'm asleep, because I basically die without knowing I died. I rather know that I'm about to die rather than not know that I'm about to die. For some reason, I don't know why. I do actually try and not sleep, which for some reason doesn't sound very healthy, and I end up sleeping 3 hours in 48 hours, meaning that I'm lacking so much sleep, and I probably should be sleeping right now, but I don't feel like it. I guess it's jet lag. But otherwise, I really didn't sleep a lot in the past couple of days. Even in my friend's home, I didn't sleep a lot for some reason. I don't know. I guess I don't need a lot of sleep. I probably should though, because I'm 15. I don't know how sleep works. Sleep is weird. Moving on to when we landed, because there's nothing else that really happened on the plane apart from a French lady asking me all about my life and different things. But anyway, we move all the way and we land in Turkey. Now in Turkey, the first thing I think of is I want a burger, because we literally come out of the airport and I see a Burger King and I feel like eating there. I go there and I realize I don't have any Turkish lira, which is Turkish currency if you're wondering. I don't have any money, but I did realize that my mom gave me 200 in Hong Kong dollars so I could change it into Turkish lira. So I went to the exchange booth, and then it was then that I realized they don't exchange Hong Kong dollars in Turkey. They don't. They exchange Chinese yuan, they exchange Japanese yen, they exchange, I don't know, New Zealand dollars, but they don't exchange Hong Kong dollars for some reason. I think my mom thought they would exchange Hong Kong dollars, but they don't. So I couldn't have that burger because I didn't have any money. Luckily, because I'm in business, and you can call me a rich brat again if you want to, but because I'm in business, I could go into the business lounge. Of course, I met the French lady again because I told you, and she asked me if you could bring trolleys in, which no, you couldn't. Anyway, let's just fast forward it into the business lounge, which is the most epic lounge I've ever been to. There is so much space, like 2 floors, literally, and packed full of people at 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, you don't expect so many people to be in the lounge at 6 o'clock in the morning. But there was. And there is so much food. You could get a panini, cake, yogurt. Somewhere there's probably cereals. I didn't find it though. You could get bread, croissant, omelette, and all this kind of breakfast food. You could also get drinks like water, orange juice, lemonade, Coke, Sprite, and all of this kind of stuff. You could just get it and it's all free and it's amazing. There's so much food. I love the panini though. They had fresh paninis. Like, you could literally see the guy who looked really bored making all of those paninis, and it tasted so good. Plus, I went downstairs because there's 2 floors, as I said before. I went downstairs and there was a whole section where there was only games. And I even saw one booth which allowed you to play virtual golf with actual golf bats. So you take a club, sorry. Why would I say bat? But anyway, a golf club. You could take a golf club and swing it, and then on the screen there will be like the ball traveling to hole. And it looked so amazing. I wish I could have used it, but unfortunately I was out of time and I couldn't use it. Oh, but that looks so amazing. Yeah, but otherwise, in Turkey, the airport is actually pretty neat. I would say if Zurich wasn't the best airport in Europe, Turkey would be runner-up. Because seriously, it looked amazing. Anyway, on the plane to Dublin, which was the next plane, I sat down and then I realized something immediately afterwards. There was no monitor. And I was wondering, wait, where is the monitor? This is supposed to be a long flight. Oh, okay, maybe there is no monitor then. And then I checked, but then there was a remote controller for a monitor, but there was no monitor. And I was still confused, where was the monitor? So I did some digging around, I found the table And then suddenly, underneath the remote controller, I found another sort of trapdoor-ish kind of thing, and there was the monitor. And I looked down and I thought, okay, so it's a monitor that you can stow away, and it looks old, like it's so thick. And I'm just looking and think, okay, why do they even have that? Why don't they just put it on the seat of the person in front? That makes more sense. I was just staring at it. Huh? 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 But then I took it out, and then I realized another thing. That it's touchscreen. And frigging amazing, it's a touchscreen monitor. Unfortunately, I didn't get to use it because I fell asleep for basically the entire flight. I mean, I didn't sleep before, so I guess I slept then, but still, that screen was so amazing. It was touchscreen, but it was so weird because it was stowed inside the seat pocket. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention is what happened in basically every security check in the world. But basically, because we're moving, I don't trust the movers, and so I took everything that has the word electronic in its name into my bag. And the problem with having electronics in your bag is you have to take it out in security checks. Now usually that is my worst nightmare because I have to take out like my computer, my iPad, and all this kind of stuff, and then it feels awkward. But this time it felt extra embarrassing because I had so many different technology that I had to literally fill an entire basket, like it was chock full of stuff. And even afterwards I had difficulty packing up because there was so much stuff I had to bring out. And then every time I do this, I feel like a spoiled child because I really have so much stuff in my bag. That expensive stuff. You know, it's like basically like showing off because you're basically putting everything in the basket and saying, oh yeah, that's all my stuff. See, look, I got like a computer, I got an iPad, I got a phone, I got a Kindle, I got a DS, and I got an Xbox, I got a Apple Watch, I got a modem. I don't know what the rich people have. Thus, the trip concludes in the baggage collection area. And for some reason, I am really unlucky when it comes to collecting luggage because whenever I want to collect luggage, it always seems to be late. I had to wait 30 minutes for the luggage to come out. And then, my luggage was the last one to come on the conveyor belt. So it was waiting for the first luggage to come out, and then I had to wait for the last one to come out. And that took a long time because there was a lot of people on that plane. It took a really long time, and I couldn't text my dad because I had a Chinese phone number, so it didn't work. It took so long. My dad was wondering what happened. Did I actually land safely? Because I couldn't call him, and I'm pretty sure it took me 45 minutes for the luggage to come out and for me to go out. I didn't spend half of that time on the toilet because what else can you do? Nothing much. But seriously, why does it take so long for the luggage to come out? I mean, it's just taking a bag, putting on a trolley, and then pushing the trolley to, let's say, conveyor belt number 4, and then putting everything on the conveyor belt, send it off, let people collect the luggage, and everyone's happy. But somehow it takes half an hour for it to happen. It's just luggage. Should be very quick. Either way, traveling alone was a really weird experience because I never did this before. Many people think I'm very dependent, but to be honest, I can actually be very independent if I want to be, but I never act like it because I don't feel like it. But otherwise, I really think that this was both fun and scary because I never did this before. It was a little bit annoying. But otherwise, it was interesting. So anyway, this is the end of the video. I think tomorrow I'm gonna film a bad acting that I have been scripting for the past couple of days. In fact, I think I just bought all of the props already. So, all the props are here. I even bought some extra chocolate because I love chocolate. Actually, I like this. It's Oreo, which is basically mint inside of chocolate. It tastes so good. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it and that you watch another one of my videos, and I shall say to you, goodbye. Caca.